Hi, I'm Dr. Dawn Holtz. I'm a performance psychologist that specializes in military and paramilitary careers such as EMS, police, fire, dispatch, medical. I want to talk a little bit for a minute about what performance psychology is and why it's important to those specific career types. So I was in the Navy. That's kind of where I started my medical career, and then I was an EMT while I was in the military. I got out. I was an EMT and then became a paramedic. I've worked dispatch supervisor. I used to train dispatchers, and then I've worked a whole lot of leadership positions in those fields and then in others. I went back to school and I got my PhD in performance psychology. So here I am. And why is this important to me? Because over the course of my career, I watched multiple colleagues commit suicide. And, some of you might say, well, that happens. It's a part of the career. It's a part of any career. Suicide is just maybe a part of life. And that's actually not true. It doesn't have to be true. The EMS career path, it has the highest rate of suicidality. And we don't talk about that. Most people don't even know that. We do know that the military has a very high rate of suicidality, actually on duty in the military and then in the veteran population as well. And we talk a little bit more about that, and it's very important that we bring attention to it. But it's also important that we bring attention to it in EMS. There's also a high rate in fire and police. These are all very high stress jobs. In addition to that, there's a really high rate, and in the EMS career in particular, the highest rate again of substance abuse and substance use. Actually, the rate is unmatched again by any of the other career fields, including fire, police, and the military. Yeah, it is. Performance psychology. Why is this all important? Why am I talking about performance psychology when I talk about these things? So in these particular fields, they're very high performance careers. There's a lot of stress every day. There are high expectations. There's a mission, and you have to perform to the specifications of the mission, or people die. Doesn't matter which one of those fields you're in. People die, and there are very severe consequences when you're not at the top of your game. So we talk about athletes and we know that they perform. We've got coaches for athletes, right? But in these fields where you are expected to perform on the daily without fail and without incident, you don't have a coach. In these fields, though, you would also not go into the field trying to intubate somebody or trying to put out a fire or put on your fire apparatus without the appropriate training, right? Without the appropriate coaching and help in your career progression. And here we are not taking care of our own mental health. When you have high stress, it does impact your mental health, as noted by the statistics, as noted by the very high rates of suicidality, as noted by the very high rates of people that abuse substances, alcohol, nicotine, caffeine, all of these things. And we laugh about it. I mean, believe me, like I said, I've worked in those fields, so I understand. We laugh about it. We shrug it off. Oh, it's just part of the job. It's how we deal. We're just having fun. We're going to blow off some steam after work. But I'm not saying, you can't have a good time. I like to have a good time myself, but you don't want to have these coping habits that have a negative impact on your health. So it's very, very important that you pregame. And when I say pregame, you have a coach. You have somebody that can help you or that works with you so that you are ready for the stress. And that way, when it comes, you already know how to deal with it. Just like you would train for CPR. You know how to do CPR when you get to that scene because you learned how. You practiced along the way. So stress and coping and sculpting your mental health is the same way. You want to have positive relationships. You want to have marriages or other relationships that last long times. You want to have a very positive relationship with yourself when you encounter these high stress situations or the chronic high stress. That's what a performance psychologist does. I work with people that are very high performers like yourself, and I understand that you're already a high achiever. That's what you do on the daily. That is what you know how to do, is win. Okay? I help you so that you can continue to win in a very strong way. We take your current potential, your current achievements, and add that potential that you have and turn that into even more performance with lower stress levels. We talk about things that are going on in your life. We apply this to your work life and your home life so that you get this nice synthesis and you can stay in the field for even longer. You can have positive outcomes and you can do better in your career and your life. So, if you feel like you need a coach, I'm available. dmhperformance.info. If you want to talk to somebody else, because you've got to have the right coach for you in order for this to work, then find yourself a coach. Find somebody that is there to talk to, somebody that can help you be the best version of you. You are out there helping everybody else on the daily, and you deserve help too. Here's to our military members, our veterans, our police officers, our firefighters, and our EMS workers. They're out there saving lives and doing the job on the daily. Take care of yourself.